We move on to the battle for the backup running back position. One that I don't really think is that much of a battle, but I do think that there are some people that look at it and say that there is a battle for this spot. To me, if Caleb Hood is healthy, that's going to be your guy. I mean, 471 yards, 2 touchdowns on 98 carries, caught 18 passes for 165 yards and a touchdown so far in 26 games in his career. The biggest thing for him is just he's got to be able to stay on the field, man. Every time that we get excited about what Caleb Hood shows us, every time that we think that he's going to be a part of that running back rotation, he seems to get injured. But this is a great opportunity for him because as the backup in this system, I think, look, last year they were able to run Omarion Hampton basically into the ground. He was a guy that never had to come off the field. With Davian Goss, it's still early in his career. You're not going to want to do that to him. So there are going to be moments where you're going to need your backup running back to step up and play key snaps for you. And God forbid there's an injury, you need someone you can count on. I feel like Caleb Hood is a guy that with what we've seen from him so far in his career, we feel like we can trust him. It's just he's got to be out there on the field if he's going to make the sort of impact that he did, in a game like the App State game back in 2022, where he ripped off a massive carry, was really a big difference in that win for Carolina. Those are the types of moments that are possible for him, but it's all about health.
Yeah, first thing I think about Caleb Hood and being back it feels like he's been a part of this program forever now. Doesn't he feel like a prototypical Bill Belichick back, where I think Belichick is like, he's going to love this dude, right? Because the thing you can say about Caleb Hood, who maybe hasn't had the type of career he envisioned having when he arrived on campus, and injuries played a big part in that, it doesn't matter what he's asked to do, he does it. Because he's a team guy with his connection to the university from his father. He's a Carolina guy. This is a Carolina football player through and through. And so I think more than anything, just from a culture fit for what Bill Belichick is wanting to establish in year one, I think he's really going to love what Caleb Hood can provide, because there's a leadership quality that brings to the field. But also, this is a guy that whenever his body allows him to be on the field, there's production there. And he's a guy that if you got to turn to him in a big moment and hand him the football, he can make a play. He's a guy that can come out of the backfield and maybe catch a pass, or stay in there in pass protection and make a block, or we've seen him make plays on special teams. And so I just hope for him. I would love for him to secure himself as a backup that has some sort of a role, because I think he's just earned it with all the crap his body's been through, and at different times where we got really excited about him being a potential big part of that running back room, and it never worked out. I think it'd be a neat story if this year he could be the number 2 back to Davian Goss, but it has a role. Maybe he's the third down back, no matter what that role looks like, and plays a big part of the foundation that Bill Belichick is going to set. So I'm really hopeful that this is the year that his body holds up, because I think there's a better football player there than what we've been able to see during his time in Chapel Hill. But I know no matter what, that this will be a guy that will earn the trust and respect of his teammates, because no matter what he's asked to do, he does it, and every team needs a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that I think he's a guy that whenever he's gotten his opportunities, he's made the most of it. And I think, he fits exactly what Belichick is looking for. I mean, this is a guy that has been through so many injuries, but he's fought through it. He decides to stick it out at Carolina. This is going to be someone that is going to get playing time if he is available. When I watched him, I thought, again, really patient runner, makes smart reads, especially for a guy that played quarterback at the high school level and converted to running back. And he's been really successful there. But I think he does a really good job of getting north-south. I think you saw a little bit more physicality to his game as the years went along. I thought in the bowl game, you saw a little bit of that. And that was when Carolina's offense was most successful in the bowl game, was when they were getting the football in his hands. So this is a guy that's capable of carrying this offense a little bit at times. I think if he is your guy that you're able to throw in there, from time to time when Davian Goss needs a little bit of a breather, I think, he could be a guy that factors in as a pass catching type of guy out of the backfield. I don't think that Davian Goss is a guy that can't catch the ball out of the backfield. I think that is an element of his game, but that's a way that you can get Caleb Hood on the field, is as a guy that, maybe gets out there in pass protection. He's been in the system a long time, as opposed to Davian Goss, who's only been there. This will be his second year in the system. For him, he maybe isn't nearly as polished as Caleb Hood will be as a pass protector. Get him out there as a pass protector, but also a guy that can catch the ball and do stuff with the football in his hands. I really like the potential here for Caleb Hood. And it sounds weird saying potential with a guy that's a senior, but he's a guy that I think just hasn't really been able to show it because of all the injuries. I think this could be a big year for him. And I really do think that he is clearly the number 2 running back in this system this year.